Hey guys, welcome to Punky's World. I decided instead of doing a music um, a video about music, the music that I love, that I would do another wrestling video. I want to talk about going to see wrestling live. Oops. I kind of put these in here willy-nilly, so I want to try to fix it. Now, my dream night was given to me when I was diagnosed with Hodgkin's. I had just had surgery on my neck. So I had my bandage, as you can see there. That's my dad. We're in the back of the limo, which was provided for us. I couldn't have front row seats. You'll also notice that I'm wearing my leather jacket, but I'm wearing my Four Horsemen with the Tasmanian Devil shirt and my locket. I love you, Dad. He's wearing his coat from work that he wore all the time. Wish I still had that. I don't know what happened to it. But anyway, so a bunch of people got together and arranged that for me. They got us some free meal. We got backstage at the wrestling show. Unfortunately, most of the wrestlers were not there. However, we met Rey Mysterio and Nitro Girl Che. At that event. So first of all, these pictures here are pictures that I got from a cousin of the Rougeau brothers. These are old pictures, like old. I'll show you those after. Pictures from my night. Here's one. It's Ray Jr., Rey Mysterio. It's really hard to tell because it's so far away. Let's see here. Oops. This is Goldberg press slamming Ric Flair that night. More of Goldberg and Flair. More of Goldberg and Flair. Some of these are not that night. This is Slamboree. I was telling you about this. I'll show you that picture in a minute. Oh, love you, Vader. Sort of. Okay, these are from a different time. Okay, here's one. There is Booker T from that night. Again, nobody was there. There's a nice one, Goldberg and Flair. Thanks. Okay, what's this one? Yep, I think that's another one of Booker T from that night. My mother helped me get some of the pictures because it wasn't the easiest thing in the world to do. There's Ric Flair in his robe, all his glory. I hope I'm holding that. Yeah, I am. That's Flair and Goldberg again. This is Flair and Goldberg before they had a match. This is earlier in the evening. Flair is still dressed in his suit. Okay, that's a steel cage coming down. That's a different show. And that, I believe, is the back of my father's head. That is a different show. Yeah, that's number 8. Oh my goodness. A lot of these are Slamboree pictures. And pictures from WWE in the 90s, early 2000s, maybe. Okay, there's another one of Ric Flair. And his, I do not know. Oh, that's a person. The person in the side of the picture. Okay, what else do we have here? So many of these people are dead. This is from that special night. And here's another one of Ric Flair and Goldberg from that night. Okay. It's actually sad going through these pictures because so many of these people are dead, you know, but at the same time, there's so many memories here. I wish I had pictures from the 1992 show. Like this here, the date is incorrect. This is actually from the year 2000. Let me see what's stamped on the back. Whole bunch of crap I can't figure out. But anyway, that is when I got my Benoit picture. Yeah. So I also have this. This is all of the WrestleManias. They did a set. I had them all. 10, 15. First 15. And this is all the matches in the first 15 WrestleManias, which is really cool. This came in the set. This was actually a VHS set. And I think I figured out, speaking of VHS, what I did. Now, some of these are from, like I said, they're from the 90s. And sadly, a lot of these people are dead. I'll show you some of these, because these are better pictures because I was up front. This set of pictures here from the 90s, because we were up front, you know, and able to get much better pictures. And you'll see my friend Doug, like he's in this picture. This picture. Okay, I think that's it for the, yeah, the rest of those are Slamboree, which I'll show you in a minute. Okay, this is Paul Bearer. The, oh crap, the Hillbilly Brothers there. And I'll tell you a little secret. This one here, Henry Godwin, actually married to my mother's best friend's cousin. Yep. This is Tatanka. This is Shawn Michaels. Look how close I was to him. He actually hugged me one night. Oh. Rest in peace, Vader. Okay, Shawn Michaels in the British Bulldog. Shawn Michaels at the end of the match, holding up a little kid. This is Owen Hart and I think I know who that is, but I'm not sure. Anyway, there's Owen Hart. This is another show because it's got the thing on his wrist in this one. This was the show that I was yelling and yelling to tell him how much I liked him, and the girl next to me was being so mean to him. Is that me? Did my mom take this picture? No, I didn't have a clip in my hair. There's Shawn Michaels at another show. Totally loved Shawn. The Savio Vega. I think that's Shawn and Brett, but I'm not sure. That looks like how Brett would stand. There's the Undertaker. Oh, there's the Godwins again. Mark Merrow and Sable. Savio Vega and Steve Austin before he was Stone Cold. More Tatanka. British Bulldog, God rest his soul. Did you get a good look? This is the Godwins are in the background. This is my friend Doug. This is me. And this is the gentleman in front of us with his grandson. This is me down here. My mother took this picture. Okay. This is Dad. This is Doug. This is Mr. Urbanowski. And this over here is me. What we did was my dad went and sat in the stands with Mr. Urbanowski and gave his second row seat to Doug that night. That's just the kind of person that he was. So we were switching. We were switching tickets. And this was after we had switched tickets. And Doug was sitting down front with me, and he was so happy. Look how happy he was. Anyway, there we go. Like I said, Paul Bearer. God rest William Moody's soul. Anyway, so yeah, that's what that was about. Now, the ones at Slamboree are not very good. I will tell you that. Because they're from the 11th row on the floor, but it's still pretty far back. Okay, here's Slamboree. The only one from Slamboree that I can really, okay, that's the Cruiserweight Battle Royal, I believe. That I can really show you in terms of being able to really see it is that one of Dean Malenko. Because you can clearly see it. There he is. And it does say C. Clope on the back. Maybe, let me try something. Let me grab my, is it over here? No. I'm right back. I'm going to grab my magnifying glass and see if that helps you see these and helps me see these a little bit better. My magnifying glass is right here. Duh. My magnifying glass is right here in the desk. I just need to move you forward just a little bit so that I can pull this out. Move this a little bit. This one. There we go. Now we can take a look. Hopefully. At some of these pictures a little bit better. I remember one time I got some great pictures of Sean, but unfortunately the camera didn't work. And it's also the night I got a really good picture of Diesel. You see if I can make. Okay, yeah, you can see Dean. Trying to find him right there. There he is, right there. I don't know. But it's that orange spot anyway. Wow. Right in my face with the light, of course. By the way, the Jericho video is already up. I want to see, where am I going? Who that is. I believe it's, I can't remember his name. I can't remember the guy's name, but I believe that's who it is. If that makes any sense at all. With, Owen Hart in that picture. Yeah, that picture is too gray. It's who I think it is, but I can't think of the name. Let me see if I can Goldberg. Oh my God. Check this one out. That's not Goldberg and Flair. That's Chris Jericho. Can you see that? That's freaking Chris Jericho with the top knot. There you go. Now you can see it. Wow, I'm an idiot. Anyway, I don't know who he was wrestling, but... And this is Ray, right? Yep. Dang. That's Ray and Scott Norton. I keep shining this light directly in my eyes, which is not good. I believe this is, yep, it's Booker T. That's what I thought. That's Flair and Goldberg, I'm pretty sure. And there's a woman there. I don't know who that is. Trying to see. Okay, that was just a picture of the sign on the stage. That's also Flair and Goldberg. That's a different WCW than that. This one. Slamboree, but I can't. Oh! That's Ultimo Dragon. I don't know who he's in the ring with. I want to. No, it's not Jerry. But that's Ultimo Dragon. You can tell by the outfit over here. Trying to get you. There we go. Hopefully you can see it. I had said that this was the Battle Royal. Is this the Battle Royal? I think it is. I'm not 100% sure. I know that Roddy Piper was there, and I don't know if I ever got a picture. I thought I did. Okay, that's the Outsiders, I think. Anyway, yeah, that's probably the best I'm gonna do on those. These ones are a little easier to see because they were a little closer up. Oh, these are pictures I had on my bedroom wall at one time. There's Sting, Ricky Steamboat, and Ricky Steamboat. 90 to 97, it says. This was the house in Manchog with the slanted walls. Anyway, we have, these are old pictures that actually a friend of my dad's at work gave to me that he had taken back then. I didn't take a camera with me back then, so I don't have any of these. This is Learn How to Turn on a Light Much. Oh my God! That was right in my face. I had it turned in the wrong direction. Okay then. Gorilla Monsoon and Jesse the Body Ventura, and I do not know who that is behind them. But that's who that is. It's pretty clear. Let's see. That's Miss Elizabeth. Bonk. Yeah, that's Miss Elizabeth. You can see that. Whoa. Okay, next we have, is that Brutus the Barber? Yes, it is. This is when he was still leaping Lanny Baffo. This guy had good seats. The Hart Foundation and Jimmy Hart. Like I said, this guy had good seats, and I'm very fortunate to have his pictures. This is Jake the Snake. This was the Superstars of Wrestling show. Believe it or not, there's Brutus Beefcake and his ring coat. Believe it or not, I'll tell you a quick story. These shows were a nightmare. And I will tell you why. Because they were long. I mean, long. because they tended to tape an entire month's worth of shows, which meant they taped 4 episodes, which meant at a starting time of 7 o'clock, you can count on being at it, and with all the, the dark matches and all of that stuff, count on getting out of there at midnight on a work night. Yeah. And probably later than that, because you're trying to get out of the parking garage, which is a pleasure. In case you can't tell, that was sarcasm, because it's not a pleasure. Randy Savage and Miss Elizabeth, and who is, oh my gosh, it's a featurette. I don't know who the guy is. It's a ring announcer, a referee, and a black wrestler, and I'm not sure who it is. SD Jones, perhaps? No, it's not muscular enough. I'm not sure. But if you look, there's a featurette. That dates these suckers to way back. Oh my gosh. Mr. Fuji! Ah! Mr. Fuji. Masa Fuji. I don't remember who that was that he was with. Okay, that's Randy Savage. We already saw him. The Killer Bees. Actually, I think that's Brian Blair. And I have no idea who his opponent is. It's nobody anyway. Yeah, I think that's Brian Blair. If it's Brunzell, let me know, but I think it's Brian Blair. Whoa! But I think it's Brian Blair. Okay, this is a cage match. This is Tito Santana. I can't remember if I ever saw him live or not. Oh, it's Tito Santana and Greg Valentine, the cage match. That's cool. And what's interesting is it's a real cage. It's not the, let me go over here, there we go. Ah, it's in my eyes. Not the WWF's typical blue cage. Now, what in the heck is going on in the ring there? I see Bobby Heenan. I see Ken Patera. And what I think is Gene Okerlund. And a podium. It must be a contract signing? I'm not sure. It's interesting. I have been to several Monday Night Raw events. I was privileged, and I do consider it a privilege, to be at the Monday Night Raw where ECW invaded. It was cool to see those guys, you know? And I was like, Mom, you know, and she could have cared less. She was there for me. And I was just so excited to see those guys and to be there live for that. I was also there live the night that Sabu, in doing one of his flippity flips that he does outside the ring, accidentally, it might have been the same night, kicked a little girl in the face. And the little girl ended up in the hospital. So yeah, that wasn't good. I think the World Wrestling Federation had to pay some bills there. Who is this? Let's see. Oh, that's Hogan tearing his shirt off. There he is. How did I not recognize Hogan tearing his shirt off? Anyway. They're upside down. Hold on. I gotta make them go back up straight again. Okay, let's see here. Okay, I see Ace Bob Orton. And I see the shows against Bob Orton and Don Morocco. Looks like the Rougeaus. I think it is. Check that out. It's funny. The lights on this thing are terrible. By the way, the video just went up. I just have to click it to make it live. After I get my vision back. At any rate, I hope you're enjoying this crazy video because it really is fun to me. And to get to show you something instead of just sitting here blabbering at you. Excuse me. It is freaking cold. But the heat is kicking in, so it's going to be a good time to take a bath soon. Let's see. Oh, that's the British Bulldogs versus the Heart Foundation. Holy Moses. How many times am I going to hit myself in the face with that light? That is Ricky Steamboat against, and I don't know who. That is Ricky Steamboat. Or Ricky Dreamboat, as I used to call him. I used to call him Ricky the Dragon Dreamboat. Colonel Kirshner. Okay, who's that? Let's see. Oh, Demolition versus gosh knows who. Oh, Meng and somebody. I believe that's who that is. It's interesting because I most likely saw all these matches on TV. I am planning to go as soon as AEW comes here. I want to see Christopher Daniels in the worst way. And if he actually comes and makes an appearance for that promotion in Webster, oh, you had better believe I will con somebody into going with me so that I can meet him and get an autograph in person and a picture with him, because that will mean everything to me. That's my dream, you know, and I've gotten to live so many of my dreams in wrestling. I got to talk to Roddy Piper on the phone on his podcast, and it was amazing. I was actually in tears. So oh, don't cry. You know, he's very fatherly. That's the only way to describe him. He's fatherly. Well, used to be. Fatherly and kind and just, incredible man. I think I've told you before, Christopher Daniels is such a nice man. I told you the story about him and the little girl that made him cry. And that's just who he is, you know. Frankie's a sweetheart. Francine's a sweetheart. And I've been very fortunate to actually interact with these people. And Frankie said, you know, it's great to interact with our fans. He said, do you know how happy I would have been as a kid? You know, if things were like they are today then, and I could have interacted with Tito Santana, you know. So he looks at it that way. He's giving fans an opportunity that he didn't have, you know, and that's wonderful. Let me just click next and get this going. That is truly wonderful that he can look at it that way, you know what I mean? And it's up. Oh, that's our foundation. And they were the tag team champions. Sorry, I put it in your eyes this time. Wow. Okay, this is Corporal Kirshner. Don't even need the magnifying glass for that. this is Kamala. You can clearly see Kamala. And Kimchi, I think his name is, his person. There's another Randy Savage. Anyway, that's Miss Elizabeth, and we're back to, oh, no, we're not back to the beginning. This is Bruno Sammartino, Vince McMahon, and Jesse the Body. Vince McMahon is down over here in the red. So this was a while ago. Now we're back to Gorilla Monsoon and Jesse the Body. An unknown man behind them. I almost want to say that's a young Bruce Pritchard. I almost want to say that's a young Bruce Pritchard back there. I could be wrong, but that's what it looks like to me. I'll put these back in the bag from whence they came. Yeah, I was very fortunate to get these pictures of the Rougeaus from their cousin. That's actually him with them right here. And that's him with one of them right there. And of course he kept all the, the newspaper clippings and all of that, because they were his cousins, They are his cousins. Don't know what they're up to these days. They're both retired, I know that, because they're kind of old. Turn that off. But this, you can see the excitement, and you can see my dad. Even he's smiling. It was just, I'm holding it down here because otherwise the light bounces off it and you can't see it. If you recall, this is the one we flipped over so that we could stand it up over here. We'll put it back. Okay. Whew. Okay. These stories are personal to me because, as I told you before, wrestling was something that helped me get through, In fact, I have a funny one for you, real quick. We had moved to Whitensville, and we had finally gotten cable TV. It wasn't something we had access to. And in fact, in this town, this is the town we lived in before, that we moved there from, they didn't get cable until like 1992, and that was on Main Street. It was like 1994 if you were out in the woods, where I took you that time to show you my godmother's home. So this was 1987, and we got to Northbridge, like I said, and all of a sudden we had cable TV. It was a totally new thing for us, and one of the things that I could watch was the NWA, which, as a kid, in order to watch that, my parents had to tape it at some ridiculous hour of the night on a Saturday night, and I would watch it on VHS on Sunday. So, yeah, I'm not even kidding there. That's when it played. But all of a sudden, we've got TBS Superstation. And I've got it at 10 o'clock in the morning, 6:05 at night, 6:05 on Sunday night. I'm like, holy wrestling. And I was watching one of the morning shows, and my mother was curling my hair. And we were getting ready because we were going to go out with my dad when he got home at noon. And there was a cage match between Bobby Eaton and Dusty Rhodes. Well, Jim Cornette threw the tennis racket to Bobby. And when Bobby jumped up to catch it, I jumped at the same time. My mother started laughing. She said, "You jumped with him." And even then, I liked Bobby. So, so yeah. And also another thing that wrestling gave me I one day found on Facebook that there was a group for Bobby Eaton. It was called Bobby Eaton Unknown Legend at the time, which is ridiculous. So I changed it to Bobby Eaton Tag Team Legend. But I'm getting ahead of myself. I, at that time, the way it worked was told you that there were no administrators. Would you like to administrate the group? Yeah, heck yeah. So I changed it to Bobby Eaton Tag Team Legend, and I started putting pictures, and I started putting articles and things. And all of a sudden, it grew and grew and grew. And now we have thousands of members. And Bobby's sister contacted me. Bobby thought he remembered me from somewhere, and I don't know. But he was honored that I took it over, and basically it became his official Facebook. His kids are on it. And I got to talk to him when he was in the hospital. I've gotten to talk to Jim Cornette, as I told you about. So I've been very blessed. I met Goldberg right before that, my special night. He was there signing autographs at the mall, promoting the night that was my special night. And that particular nitro that was going to be at the Centrum. So he's at the mall in Auburn, which is a suburb just outside of Worcester. And I was in Worcester because I was in the hospital having my neck surgery. And I get there and the mall won't let me see him. And then I see the mall bring a little girl in a wheelchair up, and I start sobbing. And this wall of a human being from behind Goldberg's table comes up to me. "What's the matter, honey?" And I told him. He said, "You come with me. I'm looking at my mother's toe." And so he took me behind Goldberg's table, stood me right in front of Bill Goldberg. I am literally shorter standing up than this man was sitting down. And so he gave me his autograph. He did not charge me for the picture. And he shook my hand and he talked to me. He was so kind. It's so sweet. I don't remember the conversation because I was so freaking drugged. Because I literally came out of surgical recovery and went straight to the mall. We raced straight to the mall. So I don't remember. I know he was very compassionate. I know that he was sorry to hear, obviously, that I had cancer and whatnot. And his handshake was so warm and kind. It was firm, but it was warm and kind. That's the only way to describe it. He just, oh my gosh, sweet man. He used to carry, one of his suitcases used to be all his fan letters. That's just who Bill Goldberg is. And oh my gosh, I love him so much for taking that minute with me, and I'll never forget it. And I want everybody to know it. And that's the beauty of social media today. And wrestling message boards and all of that, is you can tell these wonderful stories, and you can tell the not so wonderful stories, like Virgil being such a jerk to me because I wanted his autograph and he wasn't going to sign a piece of paper. I was going to buy a picture or I was going to get out of his hair. Like, whoa, what? And yet the girl that had the women's title in this little nothing promotion signed my paper, who could have used the money a whole lot more for the picture. Just saying. Thank you, Jamie West. It just, not only that, but he was a jerk to us when he was wrestling, and he looked at my friend and I. He gave us a dirty look and spat on the floor in front of us, and we just looked at each other. This was during his match. And these things get out there, and it's so important that both sides get out there. I knew Roddy Piper was a sweetheart because a lot of people talked about it, and a lot of people have talked about the fact that they remembered back in the day, they would run into Roddy Piper on his way out, and he'd give him an autograph. He'd take pictures with him. Hogan wouldn't do it. And it wasn't until a zillion years later that Roddy Piper mentioned the fact that that was the case, that Hogan just didn't do it. He never mentioned it until, like I said, many, many years later. I believe it was on one of his podcast episodes. I think it was because someone mentioned it to him somewhere along the way in an interview. And he said, yeah, I know. He said, I don't know why it was that way. Why Hogan was like that. I'll give you an example. WrestleMania. Real quick, because I'm running out of battery. Roddy Piper and Bob Orton were left stranded because their limo was taken by Hulk Hogan and Mr. T. Don't know why. They just got stranded. It's like, are you blanking kidding us? And this is just some of the examples, but like I said, that's one thing wrestlers don't talk about when they talk about social media. It's not so much the curtain's been pulled back, although it has. It's also that people know what these people are like when people have met them in person. You get to hear it. And it's good, the bad, and the ugly of it. And I used to collect wrestling magazines and wrestling books. By the way, Rob on Second Sense, in that crazy unit that he's been going through, with all the sports magazines and stuff, he found old wrestling magazines, including the one about Magnum TA's accident, which, by the way, is a very valuable issue, Rob. Just so you know, that issue is highly sought after. It was in mint condition, and it is valuable. Look it up, and I'm sure you will. But anyway, I am going to end the vlog here. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful rest of your day. I'm done. I'm going to relax. I'm going to take a bath. I have my supper. Those are my plans for the night. I'll make my posters tomorrow. I got all the pictures together to make my posters. I'll do it tomorrow. It's getting late. And yes, I know I only have 30% battery. Thank you for joining me. Thank you so much. Please click that subscribe button and the bell for notifications any way you like your notifications. Sorry, I keep getting notifications. Ironically, on my phone, so goodness knows what they are. Thank you. God bless you. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.